What up? 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 We're live. What's going on? What's going on, guys? So we're back here. We're back here today. Let's have some fun. We're gonna do a couple of things that we have to cover today. First of all, I'm gonna spend most of my time on data analysis. Okay, data analysis and collection. So we're gonna be logging in to EmpireBigData.com and definitely going through and playing around with those numbers. So let's just keep that in mind. The other thing I'm going to cover, let's see here. By the way, this is the third episode. The third episode here, we're live. Let's see here. Let's just make sure that everything is live. Got to make sure that we're live. All right. So like I said, I'm going to spend most of my time doing data analysis because I want it to be value packed. Let me refresh this. Let's refresh this. And then please go ahead and share, introduce yourself if you're hanging out with me. I don't care if you're watching a replay or you're watching me live right now. Just go ahead and make sure you share and make sure you introduce yourself in the comment area or in the chat area, whichever one works for you. But please make sure today's goal, thumbs ups. Today's goal is, let's see, 1 second. Today's goal is 10, okay? In a little bit, I'll show you how we did yesterday. But on YouTube, today's goal is 10. We need 10 thumbs ups so we can make sure that we're actually bringing some party to the game. All right. Let's see. All right, we're looking good on YouTube. If you can hear me loud and clear, please comment in the comment area and let me know you can hear me loud and clear. Especially if you're watching a replay, let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. All right. And there's one more thing that I just need to do here, and then we'll take it from there. Let's see. Interesting. I like that. All right. So I just shared what we're doing into a group here. We'll see how it goes. All right. Let's see. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. I'm seeing that Facebook actually, they're transcribing right away. That's pretty cool. Let me see here. Let's share this. All right. All right, so let's get started. I just want to make sure that we share this and let everyone know that we're hanging out here. Let's see, share to group. And then we'll take it from there. Well, this is good enough. All right. So please just go ahead and share and let everyone know that we're hanging out. Right now, I'm going to share my screen so we can go ahead and start messing around with some data. Today's county, the county of the day is Hartford, Connecticut. We're going to Connecticut today. We're going to look for deals in Connecticut. I'm going to show you live. I'm going to share my screen so you can see me doing it. And today we're going to assume that I only have $50 to spend. Okay, $50 to spend. Okay, I don't know how much the sales times these days because I actually don't do my mailing. Okay, but we're gonna find out in a second here. I think it should still be under 50 cents per mailing, but it gets cheaper. It depends. But today let's just assume my budget is I need to contact 100 people, potentially distressed homeowners. Okay, there are 4 stages. There's data, there's contact, there's leads, and then there's deals. If you don't understand how to get through the first 3 stages, don't worry about deals. Okay, unless you just want to get lucky, which is also possible, but we call it luck and miracle because it doesn't happen all the time. But if you're trying to build a whole business out of this, you need to understand those 4 stages to make the most sense out of the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen right now. We're going to go live to Empire Big Data. Okay, and while we do that, let me just make sure I reduce the banner on the screen. Okay, now you can try this all on your own. you just want to make sure you create a free account at empirebigdata.com. You'll be able to try it out and practice with this for 7 days for free. All right. So just you can do this all on your own. But I know it doesn't hurt to just watch me do it as well. So that's why I'm coming to you live. Please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Okay. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. That way everybody knows we're here. All right. So today we'll go by county by county. Okay. There are a couple of ways you can search for things inside of the software PropStream. Okay. Which again, you can sign up for a free account at empirebigdata.com. The top most level is the county level. Okay. The property records are saved at the county level. Okay, so basically the county government keeps records of the property at least in the counties that I want you to be operating in. You can do this business from anywhere in the world, from the beaches, and you can literally flip houses nationwide, United States at least. I know that. Okay, from anywhere in the world. Okay, as long as you have a laptop and a good internet connection. Are we making sense here? All right. Let's just make sure that, okay. All right. So we're going to Hartford. You can search by actual property addresses. Okay. You can search by actual property addresses, and you can also search by property addresses. You can search by, that's the lowest level you can search from. But at the top level, you can search by county. So you can search by county, you can search by city, and then property address, the actual property address. Okay. So you see where it says city, zip code. You can also search by zip code. Okay. And or property address. But the highest level you can go to is county level. And today we're going to Hartford in Connecticut, like I said earlier. When you're searching on the county level, you want to make sure you put county, because a lot of the counties have the same name as a whole city. So you just want to make sure that you put county to tell PropStream the difference. Okay, we're going to go here. Okay, so keep in mind that I only have $50 to spend today. Okay, let's just assume that each stamp is 50 cents. Okay, so basically I can afford to contact 100 for the next 1 month. I can afford to contact 100 homeowners. Okay, that's what this is about. All right, so I'm going to go to, already we can see at the very top, when I search for Hartford County, you can see that there are 2,898 properties on the MLS. MLS is multiple listing systems for licensed agents. Okay, so this is actually property on the inventory in the market, right? Now it could be a property that's presently active. Maybe some of them may not be active. Some of them are sold already. I don't know the details of what this 2,898 has in it, but that's just a number. I don't ever go there either, because the properties I'm looking for are off market. Okay, so it looks like this may just be property that if I click on this, right, it looks like they're just active. They're actually actively on the market. So you can see here, this is listing dates, May 3rd. So these are properties that are listed on the market right now. They are all active. Okay, so I'm not looking for active listings on the market. Okay, if I wanted to do that, I will hire the services of an agent, and I can pay full price for a house. I'm not looking to pay full price for a house. So I'm looking to flip a house, which means I have to buy or lock up a contract with a property under contract at a deep discount. Okay, what do I mean by deep discount? If you go to dealestimator.com, you can write that down if you want. Okay, dealestimator.com. It's a free calculator that I created. It's not just one, free calculators for the business. Okay, the first one, you can actually come up with a maximum allowable offer that you can give, but the whole point is you need to buy at a discount. So if I go here, okay, I click into that. All right, and I'll go here. There are a couple of rules here: 65% rule, 70% rule, 80%, which means I can only pay up to my total cost of acquiring the property and putting it back on the market cannot be more than 65%. If I use the 70% rule, it cannot be more than 70%. If I use the 80% rule, it cannot be more than 80%. The bigger your market is, the more competitive your market is, right? The more the rule you're going to use. Okay, just people are willing to pay more when it's high competition. Okay, so that means you can go higher, but generally, as a rule of thumb, I go with 65%. So let me go back to prop string. Okay, so I'm not. These prices are the 100% prices. Okay, these are the 100% prices based on the condition of the property at the time is listed. So I'm not looking for active listings on the market. Okay, I'm not looking for a home to buy to live in. I'm looking for a home to buy. I'm looking for not a home. I'm looking for a house to buy so I can add some value to it and then put it back on the market for a profit. That's what you call flipping houses. No, you don't need credit. No, you don't need capital. No, you don't need your own personal cash to buy the property. But if you can find these deals, there are people willing to take over the contract from you, pay you a nice fee. The highest I've made is $82,000. I'm looking to beat that record, and that's as far back. That record I haven't beat it since 2000, and I think it was 6 or 7, one of the two. And but my average is $25,000-$30,000 on any single deal. Okay, and I could make as low as $1,000 as long as I am netting profit. It's all good. Okay, so that's the whole idea here. So my first stop is pre-foreclosure. Why? Not because it's better, because you don't want to get in an argument with some people. I know people that will argue with me that high equity is better than pre-foreclosure. I know people that will argue with me that going to the auction is better. Okay, I know people that will, all of that, right? But that's not so that's not the reason why I'm picking pre-foreclosure. I picked pre-foreclosures because that's where I started back in 2005. Okay, my first mentor, Anthony, showed me the ropes of pre-foreclosures, even if they owe way too much money than the property is worth, in which case we did a bunch of short sales. Okay, so even if that's the case, we're able to make a deal happen because these homeowners are highly motivated. However, because they're highly motivated doesn't mean they're going to work with you. Doesn't mean that is the best place for you to put your resources. Okay, because they're highly motivated, most investors spend their money advertising to them, so they have a lot more options too. Most people are cold calling them, so you want to make sure that you're not just targeting all 1,700 people. Okay, I have, for the next 1 month, we're going to pretend that I only have $100. Okay, to not $100. Okay, we're going to pretend that we have $100. I may change it a few times before we end, but let's just assume I have only $100. But I'm going to follow up with whatever contact I pick up from this, whatever contact information I find from this. I'm going to make sure I follow up with them at least 4 times. Okay, so I'm not just going to mail or cold call one time and then say the business doesn't work. Okay, some people need to see your information a couple of times before it really rings a bell that, you know what, I need to call this guy because I can't afford to hold on to this property. So we have to factor in follow up. Okay, so I'm going to divide my $100 into 4 places for 4 follow ups once a week for the next 1 month. My budget is $100. Okay, so and that's what I'm willing to spend. I can potentially make $10,000 if I close one deal. If I spent $100, right, and I closed one deal at $10,000, what is the return on investment of that? Let's just do that quick math real quick, because I think sometimes I need to put things in perspective. $10,000 minus $100. Okay, $10,000 minus 100. That's $9,900 net profit divided by initial investment is $100, right? Equals to, and multiply that by 100. That's 9,900% return on that investment within 1 month. Okay, so if you do that every month for the next 12 months, what would that mean? Now, is that going to happen exactly like that for you? Of course not. Okay, you can make lower, you can make higher, and everything in between is completely up to you. But that's the simple math in an ideal world. Okay, and that's how beautiful it is. Why would somebody pay you $10,000? Well, these are properties worth $180,000. Okay, if you help somebody find a deal and they're able to pay 50 grand for a property that's worth $130,000, they put in $10,000, they sell the property for $130,000, they made a $40,000 profit. Yes, they will give you $10,000 all day long. and you don't have to use your credit, you don't have to use your cash. That's how the business works. Okay, so we're in Hartford County this week. Okay, that's where we are this week. All right, so we're gonna go to now. We're gonna go to pre-foreclosures. That's where we're gonna start from. But before I dive into the pre-foreclosures level, auctions. Let me just repeat this because I made a boo boo while I was explaining it yesterday. I try to correct it, but just in case I need to repeat myself, let me do it. Auctions is essentially properties that has been scheduled for auction. They're in pre-foreclosure, but there's an auction that's already been scheduled. Okay, and that's what these are, right? So if you go to auctions, there's only 45 properties scheduled for auctions. And why is it that low? I don't know. Maybe because of the pandemic. Maybe I'm not sure. But these properties are scheduled for auction. There's an auction date here for July 25. One here in the next few days. Should you go to the county house and be bidding for this property? The answer is no. Okay, that's not what I teach here. Plus, once it's at the auction, people get into bidding wars and stuff like that. There are other investors there, and that's not what you want. Okay, what you're looking for is you want to deal with the homeowner, and you want them to still have the power. Okay, the next one here is called foreclosures. These are actually properties that's already foreclosed on. Okay, so I don't know if they are REOs yet, but they're already foreclosed on. So this one, there's a foreclosure that was recorded here for 2020. It was already foreclosed on, and chances are they are now owned by a bank or whoever purchased it at the auction, right? Now, the good news here is that there are 20,000 cash buyers, okay? But that's over time, okay? Now, out of 20,000 cash buyers, how many people actually purchased or closed a deal within the last 12 months? That's the number I'm actually interested in. So what I do is I go here under the filters, right? My quick list choices is cash buyers, and I go into home ownership, right? And I look at this last sale date. I need that to be within the last 12 months. So I'm going to click on this date icon, and we're going to just drop down into 2019 here. And today is the 6th. I'm going to put that on 6. That's exactly 1 year ago. And that will add the filter of 1 year to that list. And it's loading, it's going through a lot of lists. So it can take a second. So if I X this out, so that's 1,500 buyers within the last 1 year, okay, that actually closed deals, okay? All cash buyers. See, cash buyers, that means they used cash. Now, does that mean they actually flipped the property? That's not necessarily true, okay? So I may want to go here and play with it a little bit, okay? And go here and say how many years did they own it. I can say maximum 2 years, okay? I can say 1 year. Depends on the particular county or the locality of that market. Sometimes I use 1, sometimes I use 2. Bottom line is that you want somebody that actually bought and sold it within a short period of time, okay? If I put it at 2, it says 2064, okay? So if I go back to that filter and put it at 1 year, okay? 1 year is better actually, okay? Because these are people that I need to contact, okay? They flip the property within a year period. They owned it for only 1 year or less, and it all happened within the last 1 year. Okay, these are the active people I need to be talking to. All right, so it actually says 1552 still. So that's that. Okay, so out of 20,000 cash buyers, I have 1552 people. If I am actively going to build a market in this area, I need to make sure I get access to the contact information of all of these buyers, all of them. Okay. Now, if I'm doing strictly virtual wholesaling, then joint venture is part of my business. Okay. I let the wholesalers on ground, which is why you need wholesalers in your network, other wholesalers. I let wholesalers in on ground to help me with disposition of the property. So I share, I eat together with other people, and that automatically actually puts me in a higher income bracket because that means I can have wholesalers all around the nation that help me do deals. So it's not about getting greedy. It's about being open to working with other people. With that being said, don't just approach wholesalers without having a deal and say you want to joint venture. It's a waste of time. Make sure you have something you're working with and say, hey, help me with this, help me with that. That's a real situation that's going on. Okay. So if you have a deal under contract and you want to work with a person, say, I have this deal under contract. Can you help me with this position? Right. Don't just say, hey, I'm just getting started, I want to join venture. It's a waste of people's time. Okay. Unless you end up in a class with a person and then you're doing accountability partner with a person in a coaching, then that's fine. But if you don't want to look like a clown in the business, okay, it's a small world too. Don't go around texting people randomly and calling people's bandit signs, talking about you want to be partners without having actual value to bring to the table, right? And just the idea that I can do whatever you want is not good enough. Most people that are active are busy enough and they don't have that time. Okay. All right. So there's another one here. Another list here is lien. How many properties have liens, active liens against them? 128. That's actually small, But again, that's with respect to that particular county. So my definition of small may be completely skewed and biased by my locality and where I do most of my business. Okay. 9,358 vacant properties. Okay, those are real prospects. So the list that I like the most on all of this list when it comes to acquisition, meaning looking for deals, the list that I like the most is actually pre-foreclosures, okay, and vacant list. Okay. The next list is high equity. You can see it's the biggest list. The biggest list is probably the one with the smallest smallest amount of money you can make. Why? Because the bigger the list, the more of your resources is going to take to kind of try to reach out to everyone, and the more spread thin your money or your resources can go. So you don't want to just tackle high equity. The idea actually, you don't want to tackle just any one of this list. You want to stack them upon criteria. And that's what leads me into when we call stacking, we're talking about filters now. Okay. So, and that's what leads me into the next part of this phase. So let's go back to pre-foreclosures. Okay. Pre-foreclosures is a smaller list, but they're highly motivated. But I'm not just going to just target all of them. I'm going to target the few that I want to target, but I want to make sure I can follow up with them at least 4 times, at least for the next month before I pull a brand new list and then go at the same thing. And then if I close the deal at $10,000, right? It may be next month. It may be this month. I may get lucky. It may happen within the first 90 days. What I can tell you, sorry about that. What I can tell you is that when I started back in 2000, I bought the first product. I bought my first course at $3,000 in December 2004. I didn't close my first deal until December 2005. There are people that have closed deals within 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, everything in between. There are people that haven't closed deals and they've been trying to do this for 5 years. Okay. All of that is that person's fault. Okay. Because even for me, when it took me 1 year is because I was distracted. Okay. In one way or the other, I was finishing my master's degree at NJIT. There were a lot of things that was going on. Okay. So, but it took me 1 year. But bottom line, understand that this is a consistency game. If you do this consistently, you will close a deal. So make sure that your budget is within where you can, hey, I spent money on marketing last month. I learned something. I have a list of people that I can now continue to market to, or actually reassess or follow up with people 3 months later. Bottom line, so you're also building a list as you're going along of people that you can potentially reach out to and see if they are more motivated than they were 90 days ago. This business, or any business in the world of 2000 and digital, is about building a list. Okay. Because most of your first time actions are not going to result. They're not going to result in what you want. Okay. So with that being said, today is a little rough. I don't know why. We'll see why. All right. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment box later, even if you're watching later. That's fine. Okay. Let's see here. Let's continue here. All right. So we're going to dive into pre-foreclosures in a second. We're going to go into this list. 17,737 people. This is Hartford County, Connecticut. Okay. Before I dive into that, there's something I want to share with you. Okay. So you can remember what I started yesterday. I told you, let me do me a favor. I want to share what's going on our YouTube channel so you can help me. So you can see why I'm asking you to help me so we can do a better job at growing our YouTube channel. if that's okay with you. Okay, so I'm actually going to share my screen right now, and then I'll go into a different application here and share with you what happened yesterday. This is our channel. This is the channel we're trying to grow, and that you're going to help me grow as well. Okay, so this is the channel right here. There you go. All right, so let's just look at what happened um, in the analytics. Okay, in the last 60 minutes, we've had 17 people watch the video on here. So we've just hit the number 700 video, okay, 700 episode, because we also repurpose the content into podcast. So if you search for on your podcast platform, except this live session, of course, but the 4 videos we release every week, if you search Empire Lifestyle, we have a podcast up there as well. So a lot of people listen through from there. Okay, so you can see here we have a little bit of a growth going on here. Okay, we actually in the last 28 days, this is a new record. It happened on Tuesday. That was yesterday, 269. Okay, if you look, the highest here was 213. So we have a new high for the month. That's not bad. Okay, we can continue to do better and better. Okay, on the watch time, which is one of the biggest factors that YouTube uses, we have 214,000 hours. Okay, we're not able to monetize our YouTube channel right now because we are been lacking behind in terms of watch hours, in terms of this actual number right here. But we have a steady growth going on here right now. It looks like 15.2 hours yesterday was watched on this channel. 15.2 hours. It's pretty nice, all right? But the highest we had before that was 10 hours in the day. But this is a new high, okay? So we probably can do, if you help me share what is going on here, we can do a lot better. This is just the YouTube part of it, okay? We're also broadcasting through Facebook as well, and just so you know that, we're also doing that. The comment says, this is a good question. It's coming in. Comment, I guess, comment, you're watching me. I'm wondering why. Okay, so it looks like we're not streaming. Okay, this is a good question. I will answer this question in a second. Okay, I will answer that question. So let me just go ahead and, because I'm going to go back to the prop in a second. All right, so if I'm going to look here right now. I'll show you under monetization. Okay, monetization right here. All right, so we have 2,450 subscribers. It's been checked for us. We needed to have at least 1,000, so we already kicked that in the butt. But in terms of this needs to be 4,000 hours in the last 1 year. We were at 3,900 at one point. Somehow it dropped. Again, there's a lot more competition of just coming to YouTube. You're gonna hear a lot of things like, "Hey, you should start your YouTube channel. You should do this. You should do that." Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I use YouTube channel strictly as just one of the many channels that we bring in. So you'll find me on Facebook, you'll find me on YouTube, you'll find me on the podcast, you'll find me by letters in the mail, you'll find me on Amazon with the books, right? So we do what we call omni-channel, okay? Because honestly, you can't trust any of these factors, because if they're really big, then more people are attracted to it and those kind of things, okay? So just keep that in mind. So I just wanted to show you that. So we need to hit 4,000 here so we can monetize what we're doing here, and then to support our business so I can keep doing what I do. I can feed my family as well, right? So that's that right there. Just wanted to show you that. Let me see if there's one more thing I can show you before we dive back into some property data here. If I go under reach, right? No, actually, that's good enough. That's good enough. In the last 1 month here, we did 56 subscribers. So we can do a lot better than that. Okay. So again, if you help me share, I don't care about subscribers, to be honest. I actually care about this number and this number more. And that's all that matters. Okay. Number of subscribers is pointless to me. We get a lot more traffic than the number of subscribers we have. So, and that's like more of a byproduct. Okay. And in this business of marketing in general, you want to keep in mind there's something called leading indicators, and there's something called lagging indicators, right? Leading indicators are things you look at and it shows you where things are going, right? A lagging indicator are things that show up as, something that shows up later, that shows there's numbers that's reflected after. It's more like symptoms, okay? What caused that number happened in the past, okay? So those are two numbers that people always mix together. So it's the same thing with regards to it's the same thing with regards to real estate. Okay, the leading indicator is how many contacts you're making to people in any given how many unique contacts, and how many contacts in general. Unique contact is per person. Contact is when you contact people multiple times. It counts each one, right? Those are leading. So when it comes down to it, you you don't want to wait until you close a deal before you know if you're having success. You want to see that you're having success starting from the beginning. Okay, starting from the beginning. And how do you know that? By looking at how many letters you're getting out, how many outreach you're making. All right. So, Carmen, thank you so much for this question. I appreciate every question because, again, it's a sign that somebody's listening, and I appreciate that. She says, "What are your 4 ways to follow up with prospects?" The answer to that question, I use strictly. Let me see here. I use strictly what you see inside of PropStream. Okay, that's what I use because I want to keep it simple. Because again, consistency is really the secret of the game. And if I start thinking outside of the box, then I also reduce my chances of being consistent. Okay, and that's very important for me to tell you that because so there are 4 ways, and if we go here, I think I can show you here. If I go under, I think it's under campaign contact. Skip tracing. Okay, you can see it under skip tracing. Okay, so these are the 4 ways. Okay, right here. Okay, phone numbers. I need the phone numbers. Okay, so with phone number alone, there are 2 ways that I contact. Okay, the initial contact. Okay, I'm not talking about lead generation. I talk on the phone only to people that have responded to my marketing. Okay, I don't talk to people. Essentially, I don't like cold calling. I can do cold calling. I have cold calling live sessions on this channel on my YouTube channel that you can see. I know how to, okay, but I don't like it because it puts me in a position where I have to sell them on talking to me first before I start negotiation. That's too much work, too much time involved. And if you understand entrepreneurship, it's about leverage, okay? And my time is the most valuable asset that I have, and I need to protect it as much as I can. That's why I wouldn't do this live session if it doesn't become a recorded video that people can watch over and over. I wouldn't do it because it's not worth my time if it's a one-time situation. It's the same way I look at when I do an outreach to people. I want to send them something that they can look at and they can come back and then look at it and say, should I call this guy and not look at? And sometimes they will store it as a screenshot on their phone because they're not sure if they should reach out to me right now yet or no. They're not sure about that yet, right? So it's very, very important to keep that in mind as you continue to build this business. Okay. So phone number, there are 2 ways as far as contact and the contact stage, right? Which include 4 follow-ups: RVM, SMS text messages, right? Those are 2 right there. So we also have their addresses for postcards, right? We have their addresses for postcards. So we can also send them a postcard at least one time. That costs some money, but it's worth it. Okay. Then also when you skip trace through PropStream, they also attempt to find email addresses for you. So you can also reach out. So since you are literally going by narrowing the list, which I'm going to go into that steps right now, narrowing the list down to the most motivated people with the highest chance of reaching out to you, you're not just going to target 1,700 pre-foreclosures. You're going to narrow that list down. I'm going to show you how to in a second, right? And then you will have a fewer list. Okay, a fewer list, and you're ready to target them for the next 1 month and find followers. So if you want to cold call, sure, you may just enjoy talking to people. You may find it, hey, I enjoy talking to people. I just want to talk to people and see if I can enjoy the conversation and get to know people more and see where their mindset. Because I did that a lot in the past, I also know where the mindset of a typical homeowner is. I know when they're not motivated. I know when they're motivated, because that's partly because of that. But I'm telling you, you don't have to if you don't want to. Okay. So number 1, RVM, not in any direct order, as long as you do 4 contacts. Okay. Up to 7 contacts. Some people preach up to 7 contacts, but 4 contacts so I can move on, because business in month by month. I just do once a week for 4 weeks. If there's a fifth week in that month, I don't worry about it, right? Negligible, right? So SMS, RVM, okay, and postcards. That's 3 right there. And I will probably do a random one for a fourth time, depending on on your business, your locality. Maybe they respond more by text, but text messages, I will probably attack them at least twice by text message before I move on to a brand new list that I will pull next month. Okay, so that's that. So phone number creates 2 different contacts, and then postcards. So phone numbers create 3 different form of contact. When people respond to me, that creates a brand new list of people that are responding to me. That means they are kind of motivated, maybe not yet. Depending on my conversation, then I will negotiate. My negotiations are a lot more easier because they reached out to me based off of interest. So if people curse us out on a text message, I don't worry about it. If people leave me a nasty message, I don't worry about it. That's just it's irrelevant. Okay, it's irrelevant to what we're trying to do, so I don't worry about it. And as far as getting into trouble with the law or anything like that, that's one reason why I keep the contact to 4, and I keep it that simple. Okay, I have my little budget and I follow a consistency plan, at least until you close your first deal. Okay, once you close a few deals, then you find out what works for you or what you enjoy, and then you create your own little new guru, right? All right, so that's that. So let's go back to let's filter this list down. So again, we're not going to just target everybody on this list, 1,700. Let me just thank you so much, Carmen. Hopefully I answered your question. If I answered your question, please let me know. If you have any follow-up questions, I'd love to hear it. So we're going to narrow down this list. All right, so we have 1,700 people. I only have a budget for 25 people. Okay, so if your budget is bigger, the bigger your list, obviously the higher chance you will hit something. But there's a point you get to and you start gambling. You don't want to do that. Okay, make sure that your budget, you're consistent, but push up to a point where you are playing offense, but also don't go too hard, because if you burn up your bank account, it can get really bad, right? Then you won't be in business, right? So let's go back here. So we're gonna go to filter. Okay, so you click this as your base, and then you go into filter, and then we're gonna play around with the filter. Owner occupied. When people live in the property, they are more emotionally attached to the property. I'd rather not deal with emotions. Okay, generally I'd rather not deal with emotions. Okay, if I say anything that makes sense, please make sure you give it at least one thumbs up before you leave this video. Thank you. Owners occupied, I like to leave that as a no. Okay. So that will reduce my list a little bit. Okay. Occupancy status, I don't mind if it's occupied or vacant. Okay. But because this is a very, very small list that I need for this month, my budget is small. $100 is small. Okay. This is more or less the budget of a person driving for dollars, because if they drove for dollars before they spent $30 a few times, they already spent $100. But the difference is that I'm actually going to be doing the contact. So I'm actually going to not just collect data, I will also contact. Driving for dollars is just data collection. That's all it is. Okay. So I'm going to keep it as vacant. Vacant means it's an additional reason why they will feel a need to get rid of the property. Okay. And I'm going to go on to the section of property characteristics. In this session, I need to only deal with residentials. I don't want commercial properties. I don't want a doctor's office on my list. Okay. I don't want a mixed use. I want residential properties. Okay. Now, would I do a deal that comes to me from a doctor's office? Yes, I would. I just don't. It's not most of the deals I've closed in the last 15 years. So I'd rather not spend my marketing dollars there, right? That makes sense. So we'll go to residential classifications. I want that to be residential. Under property types, I don't like condos generally. There are people that do deals with condos. I don't. I haven't been exactly too lucky with that. So I just keep it to what I know, which is single families and multifamily 2 to 4 family. And that's where most of the market is. Because again, you want to stay in a business that's recession proof. And one of that is keeping a roof over people's head, where they can live, where they can be sheltered in if they need to, right? At least people have homes. Imagine what's going on right now. And you have a property that's a commercial property ready to flip, and now you're stuck because everyone is working from home now, right? So I keep a single family, two family. All right. And bedrooms, number of bathroom doesn't really matter. Here in New Jersey, we kind of like 3 bedrooms or more. But I've also found situations where it was 2 bedroom, but we could expand the property into bigger square footage and had the third and the fourth bedroom and stuff. So I just keep all this blank. Okay. Year built, I like it to be before 1980, but I will go as high as 1990. Okay. So existing homes, no new constructions. Would I do a deal with new construction? Yes. I just don't spend my money marketing to them. Okay. A property that's existing home. Okay. New construction is also another reason why somebody doesn't want to sell it at a discount. Okay. Are there new constructions that people would want to sell at a discount? Yes, of course. Okay. But the point I'm making here is that it's it's not a motivation character of the property. So I'm gonna keep it at 1980. Okay. At least 40 years old. Okay. The features of the home, I don't care too much about that. Homeowners Association, which is HOA, I don't want anything that has homeowners association, like a community living or anything like that. I need all of that to be excluded. Okay, I don't want to deal with that. The next segment we're going into here is the MLS status. Okay, MLS status needs to be off market. I don't want properties that are on the market. So if it says on market here, I need this to say no. All right. I don't want to deal with the realtor now. I want to deal with the realtor when I can bring value to them. I love agents. I deal with agents a lot, but I only want to deal with them when I can bring value to them, because if you don't bring value to them, they have their fence up, because most wholesalers approach them without having value to offer them. Okay. They can only think about clients and commissions. And if you're not bringing any of those two C's to the table for a realtor, you're wasting their time. And if they have time for you without bringing those to the table, they are usually useless for you, meaning they're not busy enough. So they can't really do anything for you either. Okay. So MLS, no, I don't want to deal with anything on MLS. And that's all I have to say about that. We're going into pre-foreclosures. Okay. So pre-foreclosure, let's see, with this filter, we're already down to 23. Check that out. Okay. We're already down to 23. And based on the filter, we're already down to 23. How's that? Okay. Down to 23. These are properties right now that I'm probably just going to market to. Let's see. Recording date is a lease pending for recording date for 2018. So some of these have the old pre-foreclosures on it. Okay. So does that mean it won't be a deal? No, it doesn't mean it won't be a deal. Some people paid up, they caught up on time, but let's go back into the filter. Let's say we can mess around with it for another 2 or 3 minutes, right? So here under pre-foreclosures, okay, the recording date, I probably will want that to be a little bit fresh, at least 1 year. Okay, nothing too much into the past. But before I even worry about that, I want notice of list pendings, and I want auctions. And anything after that, I don't want it, right? I don't want that. Okay. Anything after that, I don't want it. Now, recording date, I want this to be just 12 months. Okay. All right. And today is the 6th. Okay, so exactly 12 months ago to now. Okay. And that's the recording date. Now, if I take this out, that list drops down to 11. Okay. These are tight 11. Basically, 11 can also, the fact that it's so small can be a negative thing. Okay. So you don't want to waste too much time chasing these people around and looking for their phone numbers. And then you spend the next 1 week looking for their phone number, and then you couldn't find anything. And then you just wasted a bunch of time. And then you have to start all over again. I'd rather have a bigger list than a small list in the beginning, and then I would spend all my resources on the 25 best. Okay, so this list is too small already, but there's some criteria that I already have in there that makes it that way. Okay, let's see. Ownership, I need them to have owned the property for more than 7 years. Okay, minimum 7 years. Okay, so I don't want to spend my money on people that bought a property and then they stop paying the hard money lender and they're stuck. I will do the deal if it comes to me for free, okay, which happens all the time because I'm actively marketing, right? Or a number happened to be wrong, and then if your phone number is wrong and then the person responded with a different property, then I would deal with it, right? That happens a lot. The more you market, the more that's going to happen. You're going to get luckier the more you market, right? All right, so let's see, is that it? I think that was it, right? Yep. Absentee owner location, from okay, transfer, include. All right, so that's that. So under lien, bankruptcy, divorce, I don't think there's much more I want there anymore. Okay, so here where I say occupancy is vacant only, that's one of the reasons why my list is kind of small. Okay, under mortgage, let me see here. Under mortgage, I could. Under valuation and equity, I could say, hey, I want properties that has equity in it, right? But maybe not. Okay, but I would say at least I need 50% equity. Okay, that's gonna tighten it. Okay, that's gonna tighten that list. So minimum of 50% equity. So I'm just gonna leave that like that. Here on the lien, all types of liens are fine. Okay. However, under bankruptcy, let's see here. Under bankruptcy, I don't want a list. I want to suppress anything that has active bankruptcy. Okay. If they have an active bankruptcy going on and that property is attached to it, I don't want to deal with that. Okay. Okay. And that's all I'm going to deal with over there. Mortgage information, I could care less. I can deal with short sales if there's need to. Okay. All right. So those are the filters. Those are the filters that I have here. There's something wrong with this one here. Okay. It's not $50. I need this to be 50%. So you want to be careful with that. This is 50%, not $50. Okay. All right. $50. How's that? All right. So that's that. So the list is pretty tight right now, and I'm only down to 4. Okay. So, but you can see the preview. These are newly recorded. These are new people so I don't want too old pre-foreclosure records. If it's too old, I don't want it. But honestly, I could go up to 18 months into the past, but I have 1 year on this, 12 months. So that's fine. But I'm just going to go back into the filter real quickly. Here where it says owner occupied, I don't want owner occupied. I'm just going to leave it that way. But when it comes to occupancy, I'll say any. It can be occupied. Okay. And that will expand my list up to 29. Okay. 29 is still kind of small. Okay. Still kind of small. Okay. And, but this is a good list right here. This one has an auction date for 6/6. So these are all scheduled for auction already. Not all of them. This one is scheduled for auction. This is scheduled for auction. So if they're scheduled for auction, there's additional reasons why they would want to sell with me. So this 29, if this is your first time, I don't know if I can find phone numbers for all of these people. Okay. But I need to find phone number for at least 25. Okay. I need to have at least phone number for at least 25. In order to find phone number for at least 25, I would like this list to be at least double. Okay. Because you're not going to find, no matter how good the skip tracing system is, it's not going to find all of the phone numbers. Okay. It won't. Okay. So with that being said, let me just look at something real quickly. Okay, this is a question here about comment. Okay, comment. I'm going to get to your question in a second here. So here, let's see. So I like this to be at 50. If I go back to the filter, see if I put this owner occupied or not, if I put it at any, okay. Let's see if we can get that up to 50. Oh, now it's suddenly more, right? It's suddenly more. Let me go back to that filter and see if I can turn it back to, so no. Let me look at other characteristics. This is the property characteristics is non-negotiable. I need it to be residential. I need it to be, that's non-negotiable. 1990, I can negotiate that. So I'm going to click into this. I'm going to put this at 1990. Okay. So I'll put it 10 years more. That's 30 years into the past. That's okay. 1990. Okay. So depending on the location, you may have to relax on the criteria. Okay. And that brings me up to 32. All right, 32. I need that to be at 50. Okay, so Exclude this. I don't want that. This is non-negotiable for me. Foreclosure recording date. Like I said, I can go back to 18 months on this one here if I want to. 7 years ownership. That's negotiable. I can bring that down to 5. Include unknown sales date. What is this? Unknown sales date. Okay, yeah. If it's unknown sales date for, I can include that. Usually, that can create opportunities too. So I'm just going to include that. That's fine. So we're going to go to. Let's go to. Which one did I say? Foreclosure recording date. I want to go back 6 months in the past. One. No, 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 no. Let's go back there. Okay. Foreclosure recording date. Okay. One. Uh-oh. Let's go back here. I'm going to click on it from here. That's why. Foreclosure recording date here. I have to click on the calendar, I guess. And then click on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to put that. So we're going 18 months into the past and see if we can get a little bit more on the list. The other thing here is ownership. Ownership, I can make this 5 years of ownership minimum. Okay. And see if we can relax the data a little bit, the criteria, the filter a little bit. And now I have up to 44. Okay, so that's good enough for the day. You see how I played around with it? I could make that a lot more. You can play around with it until you. So 44. If I skip trace 44, I can find 25, and I'll just make sure I follow up. Find 25 solid phone numbers, and that's my job for the next 1 month to track these people down. I'm going to use 3 different forms of phone, text messaging, and RVM, and then one postcard. I'm going to drop one postcard. There's no real rule there. It's just like you're trying to establish contact with these people, and when they call you, postcards, you can do postcard at least once, because when they have that, they can leave it on their table. It's hanging around the house, and when they see it 6 months from now, they may decide to call you or take it and hand it to somebody they feel like needs it the most, right? And that's how that works. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and answer some questions before we round up in about 2 minutes here. Okay, so we answered that question already. So Carmen, thank you for hanging out. Please let everyone else know. Yes, I answered. Okay, thank you. Is there a particular marketing piece you use for pre-foreclosures so that you stand out from everyone else? No, it's my data, the way I pull my data, that makes me stand out. Okay, the filters that I've just showed you is what makes me stand out. What I found a long time ago, probably like around 2007, 8, something like that, is that this is all, they were teaching all those gimmicky stuff like yellow books, yellow paper. I guess I can obey one of those things, make sure I use a yellow letter, but it really doesn't matter. If the person is not motivated, they could see a yellow / different color, flower colors, wild colors all over the place, and it could just be annoying to them. Okay. Plus, everyone else is doing that. What stands out is how you collect your data in the beginning, how you manage your time with this business from data to actual leads. That's what stands out. Okay. Your consistency is what stands out. Most people are not going to do this for long enough. Most people are going to try this once and then it doesn't work, and they're going to be frustrated that it doesn't work. That's what stands out. If the ones, it's really the survival of the fittest type of game, and the ones that can survive the farthest in the future are the ones that win. So I don't subscribe into that. It's about marketing for me, and it's as simple as that. A few things, maybe yellow letters, maybe handwritten type of fonts. Outside of that, I don't, nothing special about that. Okay, it's not going to be as important as your consistency in the game, and I hate to keep pounding that. Okay. And Movenju says, with prop streams, are all leads a one-time monthly fee? Yes. I think they have a download limit of 10,000 or something like that, but you don't need that. You're not going to need that with what I'm teaching you here. And if you ever need that, that means your business is doing well and you want to expand on that, and they have options to expand on how much you can download. But as far as access to the actual data, is free one-time monthly fee after the 7 days trial. So, all right. Yep, it says all leads. Yes, you have access to all United States leads, all United States leads. Okay. Any other questions, please? If you're here, Movenju and Carmen, please make sure you give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And please share it with everyone. If you have any questions, I will hang out another 60 seconds and we can basically call it a day because this has been fun. Today was actually the smoothest, probably because I enjoyed it. I reduced kind of like all the whistle and bells. So that's what I have. If you have any questions right now, I can probably answer it. And then before we call it a day. All right. Okay, so before we leave, let me just point out a few things for you that you can go grab for free. Okay, let's see here. All right, so don't forget EmpireBigData.com is where you can sign up for a free 7 days trial of prop streams. You can play around with the data the way I just did. I will pick a new county from time to time because this is about virtual wholesaling, right? All right. And then dealestimator.com is a free calculator. I showed you earlier how to use it. You can come up with the maximum allowable offer, or you can use it to adjust. But you can use PropStream for that too, as far as after repair value, because you need that number in order to. But probably the best place to do that is EmpireBigData.com. All right. And like I said, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. All right. 11dayschallenge.com. If you're brand new here, you want to build a list. You want to build a list of and monetize the list. You want to skip 80% of this craziness of also, and you want to just monetize the list. And if you want digital marketing kind of stuff, 11dayschallenge.com is a great place to start from. Okay. And what else do I have for you? We have a free class, 14K formula masterclass as well, completely free. And we also have another free class on virtual wholesaling. If you need to learn my mindset about how I do virtual wholesaling across the nation from beginning A to Z. This is a free masterclass, a 3 hours workshop. Okay, so you want to make sure you dedicate the time to it and make sure you go through everything. And please don't forget to subscribe on YouTube as usual. But more importantly, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you come back. If you give it a thumbs up, YouTube will show you my videos on your homepage every time you come back anyway. So you don't really have to worry about that. We do have a private master group on Facebook. It's called D2D Nation. You want to share this? Make sure you use hashtag D2D Nation. It stands from data to deals. Okay. If you search, let me actually see if I search. Let me see if I search if it comes up, because it's very important that we make sure that works, that it's available publicly for everyone. Search for D2D Nation on Facebook. Most of the traffic we get on the YouTube channel is from search engines, so the suggestion thing doesn't really work well for our channel for some reason. I don't know. That's where most of the big YouTubers get their traffic from. D2D Nation. So if you want to join the community and you want to continue with me, then this is the best way to do it. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if the search works. Okay. I think if I go under groups, so you want to make sure you search and then click groups, I guess. Hashtag D2D Nation. How about that? Yeah, hashtag D2D Nation and groups. Okay, so it's not coming up on the search yet. So you want to simply go to facebook.com/groups/D2D Nation to come right up. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.